I see Bill Balabanow, another World War II veteran. Bill, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Bill, you are from Lidditz, PA, I believe, and I don't think you're 103. How old are you?
98.
A mere 98.
Yes,
And you joined the Merchant Marine when you were how old?
18.
18 years old.
Yes, sir.
You, you tried to get in the Army, correct?
I tried when I was 16 to get in all the services, but I had a curvature of the spine, and all the services rejected me.
So that would have been early in the war in 1942, 43.
Yes,
That's when the services were really picky.
yes,
They didn't care so much about curvature of the spine by 1943 or late 43, 44. If you could, pull a trigger, the Army at least would take you. Um, but you made a wise move and joined the Merchant Marine, and 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 you stayed and you had a career in the Merchant Marine.
that is correct.
And I bring this up because you let me know that about a month ago on December 14th, during Reads Across America, the National Cemetery near you at Fort Indiantown Gap National Cemetery had a wonderful ceremony featuring 12 World War II veterans.
Yes, sir. One of them was a uh, Battle of the Bulge better survivor.
How wonderful. 12, and they honored you with a challenge coin, a 28th Division.
Yes, the 28th Division received a challenge coin from the president. We received one from the Blankets of Honor organization.
Right. I do know them. They're wonderful. And I'm going to show your picture here that I found online. Actually, Scott Masters. I found it on Scott Masters' wonderful website. In fact, I should share that. I should share that link.
Oh,
Do you recognize this man?
vaguely.
Tell me about what kind of training did you get in the Merchant Marine?
We got the boot camp. We the Merchant Marine took over the Navy uh, base there at Brooklyn, and we had full military training. Uh, and then after that, I went to radio school and became a radio officer.
And your first trip on a ship was to France, to the Mediterranean?
Yes, sir. That is right. Yeah. And that was a nasty trip.
Tell me about it.
Well, there's not much to tell about because I was seasick the whole way. Uh, I have a terrible motion sickness problem, which wasn't known until I got on the ship for the first night and out. We hit pretty good storms. We were in a convoy, and whole way across, I was pretty well hanging over the side of the ship, and we went in through the Straits of Gibraltar and then up to Marseille, France.
That sounds like an inauspicious start to your Merchant Marine career.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you stayed in the Merchant Marine for what, the next 30 years or so?
Yes, I stayed in Merchant Marine until they discharged me. And at the end of the war, at 1946, then I just went on and be commercial merchant marine.
Right, right. Could you explain to people, Bill, the role of the Merchant Marine in World War II, and especially the struggle, the decades-long struggle it took for you and other merchant mariners to be recognized as World War II veterans.
Yes, I went through that stage. They From 1946 until 1988, we were shunned everywhere. Terrible stigma arose from uh, a few um, a few uh, commentators.
Yeah.
Uh, they made some nasty accusations, which were finally the government stepped in and with the the networks were sued, and the merchant marine was successful. We went on until 1988 when we were recognized as veterans of military.
You finally did achieve, the Merchant Marine finally did achieve in 1988 recognition as veterans, military veterans. And that's because the Merchant Marine, although it's a civilian agency, is militarized, is put into service, military service during times of war. And my
Yeah,
understanding, it has been ever since World War II. There's been merchant mariners involved in Iraq and I think even Afghanistan, Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan.
yes, sir, that is correct. When I got into commercial merchant marine for 33 years, that time encompassed the Korean War and the Vietnamese War. So I was in three wars.
Wow, that's amazing. Bill, have you ever written your story?
No, I'm too lazy to do that, and a little bit of dementia in my memory. My sister used to travel. She traveled over to Normandy with me, and she went down to Washington when we had pictures taken with the president. Uh, and when I have to talk to people, I usually take her with me
Yeah,
because I can't remember. After you remind me of something, I can remember it, but I
right.
can't remember it out of the blue.
Well, Bill, I know that Scott Masters and his class of students in Toronto did a wonderful interview with you.
Thank
And
you.
I do. And Scott, could you please share the link to that interview? I think people would be fascinated to hear of it. And I think we should share it more broadly because we don't get many merchant mariners on our program. There weren't many. And so we're really grateful that you do join us. Okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much for sharing a little bit of that story about December 14th and Reads Across America, and also a little bit about your own service.